So, you know who made a campaign stop on the Joe Rogan podcast Friday night. And with all the issues Americans are going to be voting on,
he's going to hunt you down. He's going to find out what's going on. And that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really corrupt and goofy systems and bringing in a bunch of psychopath wizards.
I will say this, and I think it'll surprise people. The fact that his bond...
Hold on. Sir.
What's
I have to stop you with the camera because I can see you. So do me a favor, don't pull it out again.
Just when you thought daytime TV couldn't get more unhinged, Whoopi Goldberg went nuclear on The View. Calm voice, trademark smirk, and then boom. Out of nowhere, she accused Elon Musk of pulling strings in Washington like some shadowy billionaire puppet master. No evidence, no context, just vibes. He's not just tweeting anymore, she said. He's moving pieces behind the scenes. She didn't flinch. She didn't hedge. It wasn't a theory. It was delivered like a fact, like she was reporting the weather, not launching a live grenade into millions of living rooms. And the internet, it caught fire. The moment clips hit Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok, comment sections exploded. Political analysts scrambled. Fans blinked. Even her own co-host looked confused. What did she just say? Was it satire? A joke? Nope. Whoopi doubled down. She even dropped another grenade, that Elon Musk and Senator J.D. Vance were secretly planning a political takeover. Whoopi was wilding out with zero restraint. But then, the fallout. Real fallout. Musk didn't meme it off this time. He didn't drop a cheeky tweet. No, he sent in the lawyers. Hard. On April 17th, Musk filed an $80 million defamation lawsuit against Goldberg, claiming her comments on national television caused significant financial harm, specifically pointing to a failed $100 million investment deal that tanked right after her remarks aired. The claim that Whoopi's broadcast was not just reckless, it was costly. Tesla stock took a small dip. But worse, key investors backed out of negotiations. Suddenly, this wasn't a spicy hot take gone wrong. It was a legal war zone. Whoopi wasn't laughing anymore. She was lawyering up, facing real consequences for turning opinion into accusation. And that's when Joe Rogan stepped into the ring. Joe Rogan didn't just react, he detonated. Within 24 hours of Elon Musk filing the $80 million lawsuit against Whoopi Goldberg, Rogan lit up the Joe Rogan Experience with a scorching takedown that didn't mince words. You don't casually accuse someone of running the government on live TV and then act shocked when it blows up in your face, he snapped. No filters, no pleasantries, just Rogan in full fury mode. He didn't stop at calling her delusional. He called out the entire media machine. This is fiction parading as news, he ranted. And it's not just Whoopi. It's every host thinking they're untouchable while playing fast and loose with the truth. Rogan's audience, millions strong, roared with approval. Clips of his monologue went viral instantly. TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, blown up. Hashtags trended. Memes flew. Even non-fans tuned in to hear Rogan tear down daytime royalty with surgical precision. And then he went deeper. Rogan dug up old clips of Whoopi from the early 2000s, laughing at Trump's jokes, praising his business sense, even hugging him on air. The internet never forgets, and Rogan made sure it remembered every frame. She wasn't always this anti-Trump crusader, he said. She flipped when it became profitable. That line, it hit like a truck. Rogan's central point wasn't just that Whoopi got caught saying something wild. It was that media giants think they can shift narratives, push agendas, and then dodge consequences when things go sideways. It's not cancel culture, he said. It's consequence culture. And with Elon Musk coming in with the legal flamethrower, it looks like the consequences are just beginning. What started as a bold take on live TV turned into a full-blown courtroom breakdown. Whoopi Goldberg, the ironclad face of The View, cracked under pressure, live and unfiltered. On April 19th, just 2 days after Elon Musk filed the defamation lawsuit, Whoopi showed up to court thinking she could finesse her way through the storm. But once the charges were read out loud, allegations of knowingly spreading false information, financial damages tied to Tesla stock, and a torpedoed $100 million deal, reality hit like a freight train. Gone was the confident host. In her place, a trembling, tearful figure begging for leniency. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," she sobbed, her voice breaking. She admitted in open court that she never verified her claims about Musk and J.D. Vance. No sources, no research, just something she felt. It was the kind of admission that doesn't just end careers, it nukes them. And Joe Rogan, he was watching. The next day on his podcast, he scorched her again, this time with zero mercy. "That wasn't an apology," he said. "That was damage control. She got caught and now she's crying to keep the cameras from turning off forever." Rogan called it a performance for pity, accusing Whoopi of weaponizing tears to dodge responsibility. The internet sided with Joe. TikTok lit up with courtroom edits, voiceovers mocking the meltdown, and hashtags like Whoopi Down and consequence culture. Even her usual defenders online went silent. You know it's bad when your base ghosts you. By the end of the week, the conversation had shifted. This wasn't just about Whoopi anymore. It was about trust, power, and accountability in mainstream media. And suddenly, Whoopi Goldberg looked less like a commentator and more like a cautionary tale unraveling in real time. This wasn't just another celebrity lawsuit. It became a cultural turning point. Elon Musk's $80 million defamation suit against Whoopi Goldberg didn't just make headlines, it made history. The legal world took notice. Media watchdogs perked up. And TV execs, they started sweating. Because this wasn't a case about a random hot take, it was a battle over how far opinion can go before it becomes a liability. Musk's legal team brought receipts, emails from jittery investors backing out of a 9-figure deal after Whoopi's broadcast, texts from Tesla board members scrambling to contain the fallout, and a detailed timeline showing a direct dip in public sentiment within hours of the segment airing. It wasn't just drama, it was data. Cold, hard, undeniable. Goldberg's defense, weak. Her team argued it was satirical commentary protected under free speech. But the court didn't laugh. Especially not when clips were played on loop, showing her stating things as facts, not jokes, not theories, just flat accusations. In one brutal cross-examination, a lawyer asked point blank, "Where did you get this information?" Whoopi stammered, then said, "It's what people are saying." The courtroom gasped. That line might go viral, but it won't win you a case. Suddenly, every major network was issuing new internal guidelines. MSNBC, CNN, even late-night shows started instructing hosts to double source before throwing out political claims on air. What had once been a free-for-all of opinions suddenly tightened up, fast. And while Whoopi fought for her reputation, Musk quietly scored a PR win. To his fans, this wasn't just a lawsuit, it was a flex. A billionaire refusing to be bullied by Hollywood. Joe Rogan called it a necessary reckoning, and for once, even his critics couldn't argue. The media's free ride, it might be officially over. The courtroom became the ultimate battleground. As Whoopi Goldberg and Elon Musk prepared for what could be the trial of the century, the media machine was in full gear. Every detail, every maneuver was dissected by pundits, legal analysts, and social media warriors. Whoopi, once untouchable in Hollywood, now faced a relentless onslaught, both in the court of law and in the court of public opinion. Her defense, a weak apology. She claimed that her comments about Musk and his supposed political machinations were reckless and unthoughtful, but never malicious. She was desperate. Behind closed doors, sources revealed that her legal team was scrambling to figure out how to explain her comments without tanking her career. Then came the twist. Elon Musk's legal team didn't just want an apology, they wanted blood. In a shocking move, they filed a motion demanding that Whoopi not only apologize, but publicly retract her statements live on air, in front of the same audience who watched her make the explosive claims. A televised retraction was on the table, a humiliating prospect for a woman who had built her career on bold takes and unfiltered opinions. The pressure was immense. Whoopi's court appearance was a far cry from her confident, sharp-tongued persona on The View. In a tear-filled moment, she begged the judge for mercy, her voice shaking as she admitted her words had gone too far. But it was too little, too late. The damage had already been done. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan continued to stoke the fire. He mocked her courtroom meltdown on his podcast, calling it a scripted performance and a desperate attempt to save face. The media circus had reached its peak, and the final act was about to unfold. The aftershock of Whoopi Goldberg's courtroom breakdown rippled through the media world like an earthquake. The public spectacle wasn't just about her apology or Elon Musk's lawsuit. It was about the unraveling of a system that thought it could get away with anything. Whoopi's tears might have been real, but the damage to her reputation was irreparable. She wasn't just dealing with a defamation lawsuit anymore. She was facing a full-scale media reckoning. Behind the scenes, the power players at The View were growing concerned. ABC executives were reportedly having emergency meetings, wondering if Whoopi's future at the show could survive this kind of scandal. Her base of supporters, once steadfast, had started to erode. Even her most vocal defenders were beginning to grow quiet. It wasn't just a career stumble, it was a PR catastrophe. The internet had its say, and it wasn't forgiving. Elon Musk's camp, meanwhile, was tightening the noose. The Tesla mogul wasn't letting up. Behind the scenes, Musk's legal team was building an airtight case, pulling in data and expert testimony that linked Whoopi's comments to the immediate financial fallout. This wasn't a simple defamation case, it was a message. Musk was sending a warning to every media personality who thought they could throw wild accusations without consequences. Joe Rogan, ever the provocateur, continued to amplify the chaos. On his podcast, he didn't just critique Whoopi's breakdown, he called out the entire media system for its complicity. "This isn't just about one bad take," Rogan said. "This is about a larger culture of irresponsibility." His words echoed through every social platform, making it clear that this wasn't just Whoopi's mess. It was a wake-up call for everyone who played fast and loose with the truth. As the legal storm raged on, the stakes of the Whoopi Goldberg versus Elon Musk saga couldn't have been higher. It wasn't just about a lawsuit anymore, it had evolved into a battle for control of the media narrative. Musk wasn't just fighting for financial compensation, he was setting a precedent. The fallout from Whoopi's unsubstantiated claims had cost him and his companies millions, and now he was demanding accountability, a televised retraction, and a public apology to millions of viewers. On the other side, Whoopi Goldberg, once a beloved and untouchable icon of daytime television, was crumbling. The courtroom clips of her sobbing and begging for mercy had gone viral. Every tear, every shaky apology played out like a public execution. Her career, once a towering force in television, was now dangling by a thread. The backlash from fans, her co-hosts, and even her most loyal followers had left her exposed. There was no way out, but Joe Rogan wasn't done yet. On his podcast, he kept the fire burning. His critiques didn't just stop at Whoopi. He called out ABC, The View, and the entire media ecosystem for enabling this culture of unchecked rhetoric. "The game has changed," Rogan warned. "You can't say whatever you want and then cry when the consequences come. There's no hiding from it anymore." And he was right. Whoopi had pulled off one of the most reckless moves in television history, and now the world was watching as her empire crumbled. In the end, this wasn't just a celebrity feud, it was a wake-up call for every media personality, celebrity, and network executive. The truth matters, and when you play with fire, you might just get burned.